Hello. Today's edition of Bob's Coffee Chat is What If You Can Age Gracefully, presented by lifestyle coach Imee Birkett. Imee is turning 60, but feels like she's 30. She went from feeling old and exhausted to feeling alive and excited to enjoy life's adventures and live her full potential. Imee will share with us the simple changes you can incorporate in your lifestyle so you can slow down the aging process and live a better quality of life at any age. She'll also touch on buzzwords of today, like intermittent nutritional fasting, collagen, and telomere health. Imee has been a healthy lifestyle coach with Isagenix for over 14 years. Her passion for helping people become their healthiest comes from her own life-changing experience. She and her team have helped hundreds of people eat better, move better, feel better, and look better. Imee believes that when you feel good, you do better. Prior to Isagenix, Imee was in corporate for 17 years. She was HMO Finance Director for Blue Cross of California and Senior Consultant for Deloitte and Touche. Imee is delighted to share her educational, business, and lifestyle experience with us to better prepare us for the rest of our lives. Imee, one of my primary life goals, as I'm sure is the goal of many of our listeners today, is to age gracefully. How can you help us on our journey?
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much, Bob, for that wonderful introduction. And you know what? I so appreciate you because you put together these events so that we can share our gifts, so that we can learn from each other, and so that we can grow together. So thank you, thank you. So let me share my screen. Okay, can you, oops, hold on. Let me just make sure that I am sharing my sound as well. Okay. So hello, everyone. I am so excited to share with you my favorite topic, what I'm passionate about, and it's really about aging gracefully. As Bob mentioned, I am turning 60 in 2 months, and I can't wait for the next decade. I can't wait to see what adventures that we are going to experience with my family. And so today, I'm not this healthy. See, the thing is, I feel like I'm in my 30s, and that's the key. But that was not always the case. And so to tell you the whole story, let me start from the very beginning. So I was born and raised in the Philippines. Let me just see here. Okay. And my parents wanted a son, but they got five daughters instead. My dad is an architect, and my mom stayed at home with us. Growing up, I found the love for numbers. So I love math, and I got a BS in statistics from the University of the Philippines, Magna Cum Laude. And my first job was operations research analyst for San Miguel Corporation. Here I am, right out of college, and I'm like raring to go. Yes, I'm going to change the world. And because we were part of this group, which made recommendations to top management, that's what I thought my vehicle would be. Now, unfortunately, after 2.5 years, I felt that there was something missing. And so what I did was to go to the US and take my MBA at UCLA. And my first job was a consulting job at Deloitte and Touche. Now here I met Chuck, the most handsome man in the world. And so I fell in love and got married. Now we wanted to start a family. So I moved to private industry where I worked for Blue Cross of California. And I retired as HMO Finance Director after Chuck was actually asked to, he found a job in San Francisco that required our family to relocate to the beautiful Bay Area. So we have two equally handsome sons, and they always make us proud. Now, health-wise, as a young girl, I had asthma. And of course, I remember that, growing up, I moved to different schools. And it's because I missed a lot of classes. I even got hospitalized. And don't worry, I outgrew it. And I have to thank my mom because she said that she prayed for me. And of course, I believe her and thank her every day. But then, because of this health challenge, I saw myself, my identity was that of the weak one. I was, weaker than the rest of my sisters. And also, I also saw myself, well, I definitely am not this athlete. I'm definitely not a runner. And I just remember in school admiring my classmates who were varsity players, and they were like so fit and so strong, and they were enjoying life. So fast forward, here I was, married with 2 kids, and I thought I was healthy. Yeah, because every time I went to the doctor, no meds recommended, and they would always give me a thumbs up. So because of that, it's funny how things translate. Because of that, I would go to fast food places like McDonald's and Burger King because I thought that, at the end of the day, the doctor is going to say again, clean bill of health, now you're healthy. So I thought, look at me. Deep down inside, I felt old. I was sluggish. I was tired all the time. I was moody. I was unmotivated. I had this stubborn muffin top that I was camouflaging with this floral print. But at any rate, really, I was unmotivated. And the sad part of it is I accepted that this was part of the aging process. I accepted that this is the way I should feel. And also the fact that I was just 45 years young. Oh, well. At any rate, I wasn't really concerned about myself. I was concerned about my husband, Chuck. He was overworked, overweight, overstressed, and he didn't like the way he looked and felt. He'd look in the mirror and ask himself, where did that studly body go? At any rate, for me, it was just that I was worried that he would, I hope that he would live to 60. That was my kind of question. But really deep down inside, I wanted to grow old with this guy. Now, his parents would make suggestions, cut your portions, etc., etc. But he wasn't really ready until he saw a friend of ours, Ron, who looked great and lost weight. Now, if you know Chuck, he's not the type of person who will go to a male friend and say, hey, you look great. What are you doing? So guess what? He asked me to ask his wife about what they were doing, and they were doing this nutritional approach. And so he was ready to get started because he saw that it worked for Ron and his wife and another friend of ours. So our health journey began, and we changed our eating habits. We replaced foods that were not serving us, that were making us feel crappy and unhealthy, with foods that were nourishing our bodies. We actually got rid of the junk without feeling deprived. Basically, we were cleaning house, the most important house, which is our bodies. So within a few days, oh my gosh, you know what? If you give your body what it needs, it's going to be happy and it's going to make you happy. So within days, we just felt so energized. I mean, really, I was waking up ahead of the alarm clock. My moods were better. My outlook was positive. There was so much hope and optimism for the future. I wasn't taking power naps. I was not moody. And of course, I wasn't snappy at Chuck. And he was happy about that. And I also, my cravings for peanut M&Ms disappeared. You know, not to mention during Halloween, yes, I will help myself to some of the peanut M&Ms, but the rest of the year, I'm not even craving it. Now for Chuck, on the other hand, he also had his wins. So he had so much energy that he went to the gym every day the first week. For me, I wasn't even exercising during this time. So he was less stressed and he lost 60 pounds. And what happened is he was, he was happy to go to the doctor. Before, he would avoid it because he knew that he is going to get bad news. But this time, he wanted to hear the doctor say, good job, you're making progress. So what happens is he asked me to run with him. Okay, yes, this Studley guy, he was an athlete, a cross country as well as track and field athlete in his younger years. And of course, for me, remember I was telling you it wasn't my identity, but I had so much energy. So I said, yes, why not? And so at age 48, I had my first 3-miler race. We signed up for races. At age 50, big one, I ran a half marathon, which was 13.1 miles. And at age 53, my first full marathon, which is 26.2 miles. And that was huge. Here, you could see that we just finished our marathon with our oldest son, who really loves to run. So this, this lifestyle, what it actually brought to me and what I consider a quality of life is that I'm able to spend time with my family and experience what my kids are experiencing. So that's really huge for me. And so we continued on with outdoor activities. We were doing, skiing and biking, hiking, zip lining. And basically, really, we felt, some kind of freedom. We felt young again. Hashtag young and fun at any age. But really, oh my gosh, right? And so this is not the result of just feeling good. It was also a result of mindset shift, of conquering doubts in myself and fear, and also just gaining more confidence in what I can do. Okay, this is what I did. Okay, I can do this one, and then the next step and the next step. So zip lining and downhill skiing, because I was afraid of heights, was not my thing. But anyway, so that's what happens is, I was just off the sidelines, and I've been there for years and years. So this was really refreshing. Now, what happened is, of course, people were asking, I went to the grocery store. My friend was like, what's happening with you? Your face is glowing. So I decided to share it. So I found out that I love to share this and make a difference in other people's lives. Instead of number crunching, I really found that this is my passion, is to help people become healthy, to help people enjoy a quality of life for, at any age. And I do believe that just that small shift in whatever you're going to do, it can change the trajectory of your life profoundly, just like mine. The person you see right now, oh my gosh, I used to be introverted and shy, but really, if you have something passionate you want the world to know about, I just kind of like worked on myself as well. And again, your life will change because you will be attracting other people who are going to help you as well. So that's it. So now, okay, let's talk about aging. Have you been in an event or a reunion where people were pretty much the same age, but some people look younger than their age and some people look older? And then maybe some people are like, oh yeah, we just played golf. So they're living this active lifestyle, or they're traveling and hiking, the mountains, while others are not. Well, as you could see, biological age can be different from our chronological or birth age. And what we want to do is to live longer, healthier. So for instance, if your goal is to live to 100, you don't want to start breaking down at age 50. You want it, closer to 100. So basically what we want to do is not just extend our lifespan, but we want to extend our health span. So the question is, what are some of the signs of aging? Okay, let's look at the telltale signs of aging. And probably some of you can relate to any of this. So for me, for instance, before I had joint discomfort, you could see slow metabolism. I was racking up some pounds. Gray hair, it's fine. I can color my hair, right? And then, of course, the wrinkles and fine lines. So that was for me. And also, when we go with my son, the recovery was a little bit slower. So how about for you? What are some of the things here that's bothering you? And so the big question then is, what if some of the signs here that's bothering you disappeared, or at least improved a tad? What would life look like for you? Would you be this parent who, after a long day, a hard day, a hard work day, would actually go home, have the energy to play with your kids and keep up with them because they're still running and it's nighttime? Would you be the person who is very productive at work? Your mental focus is just amazing, and you are able to crank down the to-do list? Or would you be the person who's actually easy to get along with because your moods are even kill? Okay, would you be happy or more confident? How are you going to feel when any of these would just improve or disappear? How are you going to show up in the world? Because you see, the world needs you to share your talents, gifts, and skills. And also your family needs you. Your friends need you. You need you because you have a purpose in life, right? And you want to enjoy life. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, so this is your assessment for today, is like right now, if you were to rate your level of health, 1 being poor and 10 being great, where are you right now? And so the question is, 6 months from now, where would you want to be? What number? You can put in your chat, but I would imagine that 6 years from now, the number today and the number you chose is bigger, right? It's greater. Because again, our goal is to improve our health on a daily basis. So now what are we going to do? Okay, so just an analogy for you for cars. If you want your car to have this great performance and to age gracefully, like this 1967 Firebird convertible, I guess for some of you who are car, vintage car fanatics. At any rate, okay, so there are at least, you'll do a lot to take care of yourself, but there are 3 things that you would want to be doing to your cars. Number 1 is to feed them with the right fuel. If your car is built to function in premium gas, you're not going to give it regular gas because you want it to perform optimally, you want better gas mileage, you want less repairs. And of course, if you I guess based on my experience, if you were actually going to put a lower grade gas, then I don't know if you've heard, it will make ping sounds. It's really going to show you that, hey, this was the wrong gas mileage. So you want to use the right, fuel it with the right gasoline. Number two, clean it, not just the outside, but also the inside. So you want to, change the filters, tune up. You want to remove the gunk on a regular basis and not just every 5 years, right? You want to, do the regular checkups on as recommended. And number three is you want to help it manage stress. For instance, speed bumps. You want to maintain the shock absorbers, the suspension, maybe the tires, and then you also want to, perform just all the features so that in stressful situations, and it can show up as change in road conditions or weather, or even, it can stress the car out if like the driver is just, not driving appropriately. So even driving conditions. The same is true for our bodies. Okay, our bodies though are more complex and a lot of moving parts, but pretty much the same principle. So the first one, like fueling it with gas, fuel it with the right food. So it's about choices, right? You can fuel it with the, clean vegetables, minerals, or you can, this is not really regular gas, but, you can feed it with empty calories. At any rate, the thing is the body, did you know that the body needs 90 nutrients, 60 of which are minerals, so that it can perform optimally? Unfortunately, our foods are nutritionally deficient. And it's because our soils are over-farmed, and then we use pesticides, insecticides that kill the microorganisms in the, on the soil that can break it down, or break down the minerals. And then we also, at some point, maybe some get over-processed. So already the nutritionally deficient food is even more depleted. And so what we want to do is to supplement so that what our body needs, the 90 minerals, nutrients, and what we're getting from our foods, we fill in that gap. Now, as far as, of course, dieting, we don't want diets. Basically, it's really to feed the body with clean, healthy foods and vegetables, remove those that are not, nutritious. So basically, it's not about counting calories, but making each calorie count. So the next one is helping the body, the cleaning the car, it's really helping the body with its detoxification process. Whether we like it or not, the body, our body, is exposed to toxins on a daily basis. It can be from the pollution in the air, the air we breathe. Of course, the gas exhaust in the 101 freeway, or the recent fires that burned a lot of stuff. And then also it's from the water we bathe in or drink if it's not filtered. It's also from the foods we eat, the vegetables, like if they're using pesticides, insecticides. It's from the chemicals from our cleaning supplies, or even from our personal products that we are, applying in our bodies. Now, let's talk about organic. So if the food that you're buying is not organic, then it's been sprayed by pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fungicide, and what does side mean? Death. At any rate, okay, the thing is, even though it's organic, it's not really 100% pesticide or insecticide free. And of course, we question also the nutritional content of organic versus organic foods. Now, the other thing is for the animals. Some of the animals get injected by steroids, growth hormones, antibiotics. And so that's also another, factor that can go into our bodies. So the toxic burden can cause inflammation and chronic diseases. So what we want to be aware of is that putting, the cleanness foods that we can get, or using products that, with less chemicals, right? And so here in the next slide, this is a great resource, ewg.org. So it's Environmental Working Group. And basically, they actually do the research, educate you so that we can make smarter and healthier choices. So for them, okay, they make, they make all this, the research. So for instance, if you were going to just buy a few things that are organic, I know that, some of the foods, the organics are usually more expensive than inorganic. So if you're going to buy organic, then focus on the dirty 12. So strawberries, spinach, pears, peaches. So you want to buy that organic. And then, for the pineapple, the kiwi, then you can make a choice as far as that. Sounds good. So it's ewg.org. Okay, stress. Let's talk about stress. We need to equip our body to manage stress, because too much stress can cause havoc, anxiety, hypertension, etc. Now, there are good stresses and bad stresses. Of course, good stress can be the birth of your child, you bought a house, you're moving, you've got a new job, you're making a presentation. So those are good stresses. And of course, there are bad stresses. And what happens is our body has actually been made so that, it will have a stressful situation. And then there's this period where you can recover from it, and then another stressful situation. But nowadays, with the pandemic, with the financial worries, with kids, with work, with everything else going on, sometimes the stress is one after the other after the other. So for you, my question to you is what are some of the signs that you may be stressed? Are you getting sick more often? Maybe sleeping poorly, tummy kind of, uneasy. For me, I had this stressful situation last year, and guess what? Number 3, I had major hair loss. It was really stressful for the body. Stress, hair loss. Okay, and again, the question is, how would life look like for you if you weren't, you didn't have any of the symptoms? Oh yeah, sometimes it's irritable. At any rate, okay. Negative effects of stress. When you are stressed, your body produces this cortisol hormone. It can result to either gain, weight gain or fat gain, causing obesity, and then of course it's unhealthy aging. Or it can also be as a result of poor quality of sleep. And again, that results to unhealthy aging. So what can we do about it? We can handle it from the external or from internal. We can do breathing exercises. We can do yoga, meditation. We can journal. I don't know how many of you are journal. And then dance it out. Oh my God. Okay, so you can do Zumba, you can do exercise, run, right? Just be active. Oh, how I miss running. It's like if somebody is going to get married, I just want to, to dance all night long. And then you can also unplug with social media, because there are news that it's just stressing people out. You can ask for help, whether it be, professionally, or maybe it's a friend, a family member, even a pet. I was actually hugging our golden doodle angel today because she just calms me down. But the other thing that I wanted to tell you is about adaptogens. I don't know if some of you are already taking adaptogens, but adaptogens are actually plants that produce this substance that help with stressors in the environment. So adaptogens are like ashwagandha, schizandra, rhodiola, all those, Nepali shijalite. But anyways, those adaptogens will really help your body adapt to either, any stress, whether it's physical, emotional, mental stress, but it will help you calm down. Adaptogens actually help you adapt. So if you need energy in the, throughout the day, then it will give you energy. If you want to calm down, it's going to calm you down. So those are some of the things that can help you with stress. And this is a huge thing as far as really getting healthy. Okay, so the next one is just strive to get to your ideal weight. So here are some of the statistics from CDC's National Center for Health Statistics. It's 2018, but really what it's showing is that percent of American adults aged 20 to 24 who are obese or overweight is 73.4%. And healthcare experts are saying that, if the trends continue, then we're going to hit 86% in the future. And then here it shows also that, for adults, 42.5% are obese. And unfortunately for kids, it can range from 13.4 to 21.2. So what I would suggest is, if you think that gaining weight is a result of eating calories, of eating a lot of food without exercising, then we want to rethink. The reason why diets are failing us is that's all it's like, let's cut on calories and deprive our bodies, right? So you want to take care of the other things that we talked about that compromise our health, which is the toxicity, which is the stress, the fact that our foods are nutritionally deficient. Okay, so let's talk about the science of aging. What really is causing us to age? So how many of you here you raise your hand if you've heard of telomeres? Okay, so telomeres are at the end of our chromosomes, and our chromosomes actually house the DNA, but they're at the protective caps at the end of the chromosomes. And what happens is they're, the biomarker for aging. And so as they shorten, we age. So I have a short video clip of Diane Sawyer of ABC News explain to us what telomeres is and how it's affecting the aging symptoms and, just our health in general.
And now, eternal youth. Is it in a cage around the corner? News tonight of a breakthrough for some pioneering mice. But we always wonder, what does a fountain of youth for rodents reveal for humans? Here's Sharon Alfonsi reporting.
I feel tremendous.
In the movie Cocoon, it's a swimming pool that turns back the clock for a group of senior citizens. But now researchers have found a way not just to stop, but reverse the aging process. The key is something called a telomere. We all have them. They're the tips or caps of your chromosomes, seen here in yellow. This is what it looks like in a young adult. But as you grow older, the telomeres become damaged and frayed, and as they stop working, we start aging, experiencing things like hearing and memory loss. Scientists took mice who were prematurely aged, added an enzyme, and essentially turned their telomeres back on. You can see it before the enzyme, after.
Their brain function improved, their fertility was restored. It was a remarkable reversal of the aging process.
Look at this picture. The mouse on the right has bad skin, gray hair, and is balding. But the one on the left had its telomeres flipped back on.
And you could see that essentially you now have a dark coat color, that the hair is restored, that the coat has a nice healthy sheen to it.
Even more dramatic, the change in brain size. This is before the mice had 75% of a normal brain, like a patient with severe Alzheimer's. But after the telomeres were reactivated, the brain returns to normal size. As for humans, while it is just one factor, scientists now say by looking at our blood cells and measuring those telomeres, you can get a better idea of how well you'll age. The longer the telomere, the better the chances for a more graceful aging. But as for tinkering with them and turning back our aging process, researchers say we still have a long way to go.
Well, that video was actually 10 years ago. So we've made headway in telomere science and research. So here you could see that as our telomeres shorten, we age. So if we could slow it down or even reverse it, then that will be good. Now, according to Dr. Bill Andrews, he is a molecular biologist and a gerontologist. He says that bad things happen when telomeres get short. Now, Bill Andrews, his mission in life is really to find the cure for aging or die trying. So he wrote books like The Quest to Cure Aging and Telomere Lengthening, Curing All Diseases, including cancer and aging. At any rate, I had the opportunity, to just talk to him, visit him in his lab in Reno, Nevada. But what I could tell you is that not only is he genius, he is also the picture of graceful aging. Now, at age 69, he is an ultra marathon runner. And when I say like ultra marathon, it's really 130 miles plus. He runs those races. And right now, he outruns people half his age. But he's turning 70 now, and his goal is to break records. So I can't wait to hear what his race is going to be. At any rate, we had the opportunity to work with him to come up with this, supplement that actually turns it's based on that Nobel Prize winning research that they use in the mice. He used on human in vitro, human skin cells in vitro. At any rate, really our goal is to slow down the shortening of the telomere. So what he says, okay, in summary, what factors affect aging? What factors affect the shortening of the telomeres? Number one, it's lifestyle. Sedentary versus active. Now, if you're sedentary, you're accelerating the telomere shortening. And so if you have an active lifestyle, then that's better, right? So start to move it, start to run or walk, or just do something that's really going to make you, more active. And of course, I always say you need to check with your doctor when you are embarking on a new health regimen, right? So the other thing as far as lifestyle is smoking versus not smoking. So smoking can shorten your telomeres faster than if you're not smoking. So the other one that affects it is toxicity in our bodies, bankrupt food, obesity, and stress. As you could see, we have been talking about it, the early part of the presentation, that all these can contribute to aging, to the shortening of the telomeres. And so what I've done is really, is to do all this, to be active, to fuel my body with high-grade nutrients, to help my body cleanse, remove the toxins on a cellular level. I try to maintain a healthy weight, and also the stress, I try to manage stress. And again, as I've mentioned, that, what the body needs and what we're getting from our conventional foods, there's a gap on the nutrients that we need to function better. And so we want to supplement. So I've also done supplementation, including the telomere support. So, okay, let's now shift gears. Let's talk about collagen. Okay, this is another buzzword that, you know, how many of you, for instance, would go to Pharmaca or Costco and then you'd see rows of collagen. Now, before, I did not pay attention to collagen because I didn't know its importance. But why it is important is because collagen is you. The most abundant protein in your body is collagen. And collagen can be found in your skin, your hair, your nails, your muscles, your gut, your bones, your joints, everywhere. Now, the body produces collagen, but unfortunately, I know a lot of things happen as we age, but unfortunately, starting at the age of 25, our body's natural production of collagen decreases. And when that happens, we have a lot of, you know, not a lot of fine lines start to appear, wrinkles, maybe thinning skin, and then we also have weaker joints, and maybe pains and aches can occur. We droop and sag, all those, right? So what we want to do is to help our body, you know, again, supplement so that we help our body produce that collagen. Now, I mentioned, so I did, this year I started incorporating this collagen, which people talk about our collagen. And what I've noticed is that my skin, you know, my face is hydrated and softer from here to my hands, my knees, my elbows, even to the heels of my feet, which I scrubbed before because it was, you know, the thickest part. But what I love about it is really my joints, because I run. I mean, my joints are not bothering, my knees are not bothering me when I go up and down the stairs. Now, I talked about losing hair, and here's my results as far as, you know, it's healthier and now more, fuller. So I'm happy. A long ways to go. You can see that it's still thin here at the bottom. So I'm waiting for everything else to grow. Here's our, you know, just an example. Here's our friend Sue and her husband Matt, and how the collagen supplementation has helped them. And of course, you know, results vary. It's not, we're not making claims, but anyways, you can find your collagen supplementation. At any rate, okay, here as a conclusion, we can age gracefully. That's the good news. So it starts with a simple decision to take care of you, to get healthier, you know, to make that simple change, because with that, you know, with better health, it comes joy, comes better relationship, comes better life, you know, everything changes. So it's just like decide now if you haven't even decided, or decide to improve what you're currently doing, because I know some of you are have started your health journey. The second one is it's never too late to make changes. Believe me, in what I do, I've seen people in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, their 80s make changes, and their health, you know, their health turned around. As a matter of fact, like I can show you a picture, but our friend Jimmy, he actually looks and feel better in his 90s than when he was in his 80s. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, it's never too late. It's never too late. The earlier, the better, of course. So that's why my passion about educating people, so that it's the lifestyle affects their kids, because the kids can't make the decision for them. And believe me, when I was going to McDonald's, I was taking my kids there, not knowing it's going to impact their health as well. So again, you know, it's not too late. the third one, it's about building lifelong habits. Let's ditch the diet mentality. Let's ditch the quick fixes. It's really about healthy lifestyle changes that you can maintain and sustain. And we're about, healthy for the long haul. So you can just start with small changes first, right? And then you can actually proclaim to somebody that you know what your goals are so that they can hold you accountable, right? So again, lifelong habits. Number 3, it's about embracing the ups and downs of the journey. So last year, I had COVID. Here I am again, being hospitalized, and it was so humbling for me. Woo! Okay, and thank you for all your prayers. But at any rate, so when I came home, of course, I had to rebuild the lungs. And guess what? You know how the Jello, like it jiggles? Well, I was doing that to my calves, my arms, they were jiggling. So I really lost a lot of muscle mass. But the thing is, I was glad to be alive, right? But the other thing is, that it's already a habit for me. So I just went back to my habit, back on track to rebuild my muscle, to rebuild my, my health back. It's really so humbling. At any rate, so here is the deal. So two Sundays ago, this was the test. I still had doubts. Okay, is my lungs okay, etc. But I was able to cross that half marathon finish line, and I did that with my son who ran the full, and it was just it's like, when I crossed the finish line, I was crying inside. It was just tears of joy that, like, okay, I did it, and I'm back, baby. So that's it. Like my goal for you is, there will be ups and downs in your journey for sure, and setbacks will happen. Now let the setbacks be opportunity for a comeback. So for you, whether it be like, yes, I've failed a lot of diets, that's not me, or yes, the office mates, they brought that sweets, etc., the cheating, so anything, or even, oh my gosh, there's something, an event that happened, so now you went back to the comfort foods. It's okay, right? You have to give yourself grace and forge ahead. Your past does not define you. And there's a lot more to see in life and enjoy in life. So you are worth it and you deserve it. And the last one, really, it's about giving your body what it needs so that it can function the way it's meant to be, so that it can be the miracle. Because really, your body will do its thing. So let us just enjoy the journey to aging gracefully. Okay, let's live life longer. Let's live healthier. And while we're at it, let's live loud. So thank you so much. And, if you have any questions, there's my email. We can, if you have any questions, comments, just let me know. So thank you.
Thank you
Hope
so
you
much,
learned a
Imee.
lot.
That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. And that's going to end our recorded portion of the presentation. We'll stop the recording shortly, and we can open it up to questions and answers.